afraid. We Canadians were afraid of the Japanese, so we had Japanese Canadians in our country. So what we did, we put them into camps. All Japanese into camps. Because we're afraid of them being a threat to us. Because we thought that they were giving information to Japanese in Japan. And it's, to tell you something, by telling you this, we're not a peaceful country. We're not. We believe we try to make peace. We do like to believe we make peace, guys. We truly do want to believe, but we don't. Now, what I can tell you about Canada is we do a really good job. Is unlike the United States. I'm not picking on the United States. I also love the United States. I also have family in the United States. But, well, unlike the United States, we don't really claim wars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, call wars on someone. We don't really... What we only do is we only back up our allies. So, like, if the United States goes to a big war, then we have to go there too. We went to Afghanistan because of the United States, and it was a mess. It was an unnecessary war, and it's just brought more anger to terrorists. So that's now we have a problem with ISIS too. We just brought more anger. We went to kill Osama bin Laden, which was, you know, the terrorist part of the 9/11. They thought he was in Afghanistan because there was a terrorist group there, even though those terrorist groups actually didn't anything to do with the 9/11 attack. But U.S., USA, United States go there and say, you know what, you're part of this. Well, fuck you. We're gonna attack you, and we're gonna claim war on you, and we're gonna pretty much break your shit. Well, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Well, of course there was terrorists there, but they weren't a terrorist group that had anything to do with it. So we pretty much we created a war, a necessary war. We didn't need a war like that. Guess what? Where Osama bin Laden was? Pakistan. Pakistan. Like, seriously, you don't go somewhere and claim war on someone until you actually have the right intel about something. Because now what you just did is you just made other terrorists fucking angry. That's what you did. Now, let me tell you something about it. Again, I don't want to pick on Americans or United States, but if you're American, you'll know this. A long time ago, back to the Soviet Union, which is now Russia, but before then, back then, it used to be Soviet Union. There was this terrorists fighting this terrorist group. This little group, you know, said they didn't want the Soviet Union, and it was Russia, but at that time, the Soviet Union, to take over their place. So what the United States did is they funded the terrorist group, to help them, fight against the Soviet Union. Well, after a while, the United States backed off, so they stopped funding the terrorists. Well, the terrorists got pissed off. So, yeah. So pretty much, who caused this whole terrorist thing? United States. You might say, oh, United States is this, United States is that. You're making fun of the United States. No. In fact, like I told you, I love the United States. It's a nice country. I've been there. I actually been to New Jersey, and where there it was hot. So I was like burning hot, but I have family there too, but I like the United States. I have nothing against the United States or American people. They're our neighbors, pretty much our brothers, kind of like our cousins. So really, we have nothing against them. We are your allies, anyways. We pretty much back you up. So I'm not, but it's the truth. I mean, kind of the U.S. as kind of an how would I put this? U.S. should take the blame. The thing is, you know, the U.S. government doesn't want to take the blame because, well, they said, oh yeah, we did this for our country. Well, you just created pretty much more terrorism instead of ending it. Now, we have a group, a little group, well, I shouldn't say a little group because what they've done is so nasty. Now you have this group who's bloodthirsty and after your ass and killing innocent people like in Paris, and you know, another thing, yeah, I mean, oh, another thing, again, I'm not just, you know, picking up on US. I just learned this at school, and if you're American and if you actually should know this, actually, Israel is how I say it properly. I'm saying the country Israel. Jews, pretty much, Jews. Israel was not a country actually made. It was put there by the U.S. So pretty much what the U.S. did, they went there, they kicked out the Muslims, and they put their Jewish people, which they're Jews, they're Catholic, but they take the religion more serious than Catholic people. Like, they believe in the same thing as Catholic people, they take it more seriously. Well, pretty much what the U.S. did is they went there, they kicked off the Muslims, and they put other people there to live. So you can't deny the facts. You say, oh yeah, you're just picking on U.S. I'm not picking on U.S. I also said about Portugal, and I also said about Canada, the bad side too. So I'm not picking on countries. I'm just saying the truth, the facts. Every country has its dark side. Every country has a dark side. Because it's history, and before we humans can think better. Guess what? World War I, after World War I was done, there was a thing called NATO or whatever. I think some other group, something like that. They were supposed to prevent World War II. What? World War II started anyways. Why? Because we have some douchebag, an asshole Hitler, Adolf Hitler, who thinks, oh yeah, let's go blame on the Jews because what he did, he blamed the Jews. He blamed the Jews that they lost the World War I, the First World War. So yeah, he blamed the Jews, even though the Jews didn't have anything to do with it. The reason why he blamed the Jews, he hated the Jews, to be honest. And there's some theories that he's actually kind of a bit Jewish. I think there's some theories that his mom was Jewish, and he didn't like his appearance, so that's why he kind of, there's just some theories about him. But I learned this in school, and our teacher is really good, and he actually talked about, World War II, the Holocaust, and stuff like that. Pretty nasty things, right? But we have to learn it because it's our history, our human history. Jewish people, so Jews, they pretty much actually had a lot in Germany at that time. They had a lot of Jewish banks and stuff like that. So they were taking over German economy. Like, I don't know if it's like I should say it like that, but they're like taking over Jewish economy. But it's kind of stupid, right? Blaming on people that they didn't really have anything to do with it. So really, why he hated Jews is not really, we don't really know. Really. The only thing that he did, it was like he blamed the Jews, he needed a reason. First of all, he needed a reason for people to vote him, right? To become into power. So guys, let's go back. Let's go back to before Hitler. Actually, he was a soldier back in World War I, as you probably know. Hitler was a soldier back in World War I. He actually was injured. So, and then he got rescued by some German soldiers. So he was actually got shot and injured in World War I. So if he died, maybe this could never happen. World War II, but anyway. And then over, you know, World War I ended. You know, Germany lost, and they had to pay for everything that happened. And then what happened was Germany kind of lost its military power because it was in order to prevent World War II. Well, Adolf Hitler came along, so he wanted to, you know, join the party, you know, political party, and he joined one. But then, first one he joined, he didn't like it, so he quit, and then he joined one that's called the Nazi Party. So you probably already know Nazi, right? The Nazi Party. So, you know, it was a small group, but he started talking in that party when they had, you know, their meeting. You know, their meeting, you know, about their discussions about stuff, political stuff. And the people in that party, you know, they thought him as, you know, he was smart. He knew what he was saying, so they pretty much what he would say, he was blaming the Jews. It was the Jews' fault for losing World War I. So they liked his idea, and they thought he was so smart. They put him in as leader. So now you're wondering how he got into power. Well, he used propaganda. And pretty much what North Korea now uses, right? But North Korea is another thing that I can talk about maybe later on. Well, what should I say? Propaganda. Well, Hitler was a maniac, and that's all we can say, right? Well, what kind of propaganda he used? Well, Jews, right? Said, you know, Jews created this, did this, right? They were the reason why we lost. He also would scare people to vote for him. He pretty much, I think he would say pretty much like, oh, if you don't vote for me, I'll kill you or something, or I'll put you to camps or whatever. So he used propaganda and he used to scare tactics. So once he got into power, what he did, first thing he did was get, you know, his military back. He created his military, the Nazi army, whatever. And then you were thinking, some people think that, you know, the only thing they've done was the gas chambers and stuff. No, they've done for one thing first. They tried to they tried to I think what they did, I don't remember this well. I think what they did, they tried to put them into camps and make them work, and to see them to see if they die. Oh yeah, I remember now. Sorry about that. I think what they would kill Jewish babies. So in order to, you know, end the reproduction of Jews, right? Yeah, it sounds stupid and nasty, and evil, but they would pretty much kill babies in order to finish their. But Hitler and, you know, other people, they noticed that it wasn't quick enough. It wasn't quick enough. It wasn't really working. So they come to this final idea. Of course, you probably know now. Camps, gas chamber. So then what they notice is they make them to work, and then they would pretty much, and then they would kill people, millions of Jews, to try to end their race. Well, not to say race, because that's kind of a bit racist, because they're also human, but, you know, they're, you know, Jewish, from existence, right? They're trying to take off Jewish people from existence, to talk about it. It's nasty. World War II. Now, if there's also another thing. Why didn't other countries act? You think that United States and other countries didn't know it was happening? Try your quick scope on me, son. Actually, United States and other countries knew it was happening, but there was no interest on their acting. They wouldn't get anything out of it by intervene, go there and actually, you know, get rid of Nazis and actually free those people. There was no interest. They knew what was going on, but they just, you know, make it as if they didn't know, right? Well, after a while, they, you know what, they said, you know, probably they said, you know what, we have to do it because it's just, you know, what they're doing is stupid, and they went there and, you know, they pretty much say freed every Jews, the rest, well, you know, the survivors. Actually, my age, people in my age, so teenagers in my age, and 16 teenagers, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, we are the only ones, last ones to actually hear about survivors of the Holocaust, because now they're old, right? They're in their 90s, and I heard a couple of them, and their stories was just so terrifying, so scary, so sad. What they went through. This lady said that she was separated from her family, I think. Yeah, separated from her family. And I think the only way she survived was she was transferred to working camps, because I think, I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was in like Switzerland or something like that. That there was also a working camps. They wouldn't kill you. They would pretty much use you to work. They would put you work until you die. So pretty much there was no gas chambers in there. So that's how that lady survived. Is she was there. She got there. So she kind of was lucky in a way that she actually got transferred to over there. It's nasty. It's nasty. You know, we done so many things. We humans are stupid. We tried to, you know, something not to let World War II happen, and it happened, unfortunately. And now we're pretty much on our way to World War III. Pretty much. We're on our way to World War III. I've been talking to my social teacher, which is, if you don't know, if it's like history teacher, history class. Actually I finished. I actually had my exam a couple days ago, which I'm happy that I'm done, all of that crap. I asked him, you know, I was like, hey, you know, what do you think about this? I asked this problem, do you think it's going to be World War III, you know, if it's going to happen? He's like, he said to me, well, right now, we are not, it's not right now, it's not yet, but he said he agreed with me, like later on when all the countries are involved, like let's say US, Canada, you know, all the United Nations getting involved, it's World War III. Let me tell you something. ISIS is not going to last long. Want to know why? Because to be honest, they're a small group. And their lack of technology. Sure, they have, you know, bombs and nuclear bombs. They probably have even weapons, I don't know, jets. Probably they could have, you know, wherever. But they still have lack of technology. Because really, they have lack of technology. And they're a small group, so they don't have a lot of people. So, see, that's why they're trying to recruit people from other countries. Right, a couple days ago, I seen a video of recruitment. For Canadians.
Ready for deployment.
There's this guy who's now in a part of ISIS. He's like, he was living in Canada. He's like, I like hockey. I like, winter, whatever, like sports, and I like, it's the culture. And now he's there. He was just in a video saying that we need, medics, or mechanics, or whatever, medics, or whatever. They're using propaganda to recruit people over the world. Guess what happened to that guy? He got killed by his own country. What I'm trying to say, he got killed by Canadian soldiers. Which, it's a decent payback, but, So, no. You might think that it's only, they're only recruiting, people, sure, they might be Canadian, they might be Americans, but they also have to be Muslim. No! There's this guy who was to be part of ISIS. He got betrayed by ISIS, apparently. He got captured by some of the soldiers that were fighting against ISIS. And then American journalists, they interviewed him. Now he said that he wished he never joined them. And he said they had pure white Americans, which means pure Americans that were terrorists. So pure Americans, actually white Americans. Sorry, kind of being a racist line, but pure Americans. So don't come into that with that bullshit that said it's only Muslims. No, it's everyone, because there's some people that are maniacs.